and welcome, you beautiful souls and gentle beings of the world. I'm Vic, your kitchen pixie, and today we're going to be going over almond milk and dairy milk, both the benefits and honestly the cons. Which do you prefer? I put up a poll yesterday, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say. I myself prefer almond milk. I do get a little sick from natural cow milk and dairy milk, whether it be organic or store bought. It doesn't matter if it has all those crazy hormone chemicals in it or not, I just get sick. I prefer almond breeze, but we're going to go over today why, if you're looking more for a protein based almond milk, why, how to put it, why you should really read your labels. Like I said, I mainly prefer almond milk for the taste and the fact I don't get sick off of it. The protein is a benefit. The added things like thickeners can also be very questionable after doing my research and learning some. Grab your favorite mug, put in your favorite drink, pull up a chair. We're just talking food. So, you're going to see me look over a lot. I have a tendency to get sidetracked, so I made a lot of notes on this topic. I do apologize. First and foremost, some shameless plugs. I have a cookbook coming out September 9th. You can pre order it. It is called Just a Cookbook, Italian edition. It would be great if you did order it. I understand if you can't, times are a little hard. I am going to try and keep the book at about $15 because it's just crazy how even hardcover books these days are just so expensive. Um, we're also so exciting working on our own spice line right now, the Just a Chicks spice line. I am still waiting for one more approval, and then you might be seeing our name in stores near you. And then the reason why I haven't posted the past 2 days like I said I would was because it is graduation time, and I would like to give a big round of applause for my goddaughter for graduating high school. This was a very big milestone, and I'm very, very proud of her. I am so proud of you, and I cannot believe you made it through. I am ecstatic, and I cannot wait to see where your journey takes you. I would also like to point out I myself am not a doctor. Everything I'm going to go over with you today is merely off of my Almond Breeze carton and our Stop and Shop milk that my husband and my goddaughter drink. Everything I'm about to talk to you about, I'm also going to leave the links that I use in the description below so you can take a look for yourself. I do not claim to be a doctor, I do not claim to be a nutritionist, none of that. I just like to have these random little table talks and, talk about things that might be of interest to you. If you're interested in a certain topic that I might not bring up or haven't brought up anywhere yet, whether it be on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our Instagram page, please feel free in the comments to let me know what you are interested in, what you would like me to talk about. I talk about everything from how things are made. Like today, I'm going to be going over specifically how my Blue Diamond Almond Breeze extra creamy almond milk is made, to simple recipes. If you want to share a recipe with us that I'll cook for you guys, let me know. We are just talking food. We do everything and anything food your little heart desires, and I have no problem with that. I love doing things like this. Now, that being said, please bear with me. I may not know how to pronounce some of these things, and if I butcher the pronunciation, I do apologize to all of my scientist viewers out there and my nutritionist viewers out there. I am so sorry for how I may butcher some of these things. So, let's start with almond milk first. How to put it? There's always been a great debate between almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, dairy milk, goat milk, all of the milk, on what's better for you, what's not. We all know that infants under the age of 1 should have formula or a mother's milk. But after that, how do you know what milk is right for you? If you are lactose intolerant, of course, we have all these other varieties. And if you're someone like me who just wants not the extra saturated fat of whole milk, which we'll get to in a minute, almond milk seems to be a fun way to go. I like the taste. I cook with almond milk. I even use it in my mac and cheese. I don't just I apologize. I don't just bake with it or any of that. I use it in everyday life. I've tricked my husband, hi, you're probably watching this, into using almond milk. We use it in our pancakes and they come out a little bit fluffier in my point of view. Anywho, I feel like I'm getting off topic. This is why we have the laptop. So, 1 cup has 7 total fat grams. Saturated fat is zero point 0.5. And here's one of those words: polyunsaturated fat is 1.5 grams, and monosaturated fat is 5 grams. I'm not going to go into the technicality on what these grams are, not grams, what these fats are. I apologize. I am just going to tell you what my carton said. Again, I am not a doctor, I am not a scientist, I am not a nutritionist. If you are interested in these other fats and what they are and what they do, please let me know and I'll make a whole episode about the different fats of our food, both good and bad. Where were we? It has 0 cholesterol, 140 grams of sodium. Total carbs is 4 grams. It has 1 gram of your dietary fiber, and the total sugar is 4 grams, which includes another added 4 grams of sugar. This is the almond milk still. Keep that in mind. So in total, we have 8 grams of sugar in our almond milk. Protein, this is what I was talking about before. There's only 1 gram of protein. As the almonds go through the process of becoming almond milk, they will lose a lot of their protein, and as we go further, we'll start to talk about some of those scary thickeners on what Almond Breeze does. I'm only talking about Almond Breeze. I do not know other companies because I just don't drink the other companies, and I'm going to be honest with you, I only research the company I like. Sorry, not sorry. Ba-ba-ba. It has 5 micrograms of vitamin D, 550 milligrams of calcium, but it's a nut. We'll get into that shortly. Ba, 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 zero point 0.2 milligrams of iron, 160 milligrams of potassium. Vitamin A has 100 micro, and vitamin E also has 7.5 milligrams. Now, Almond Breeze claims to have 150 milligrams more calcium than dairy milk. Dairy milk roughly has 300 milligrams of calcium per cup, whereas almond milk, at least my almond milk, has 450 milligrams per cup. Now, you may be questioning how how can a nut-based milk have more calcium than dairy milk when we all grew up with dairy milk being the best thing for us, keeping us hydrated, the whole got milk commercials. Sorry, I was about to choke. So how do we get more calcium out of the almonds? From my research, most brands, including Almond Breeze that I found out, use a calcium carbonate mineral, which is found in limestone, which is what they use to increase the percentage of calcium intake, which one of the major benefits is just like dairy milk, better bone structure, better teeth, better sight. And speaking of better, some things that almond milk is free of that I absolutely adore is cholesterol. High cholesterol and high blood and risk of heart disease does run in my family, so I absolutely adore almond milk for being free of cholesterol. It has no MSG. I could take it or leave it. Everything has MSG, whether you want to think about it or not. Your own ramen packets in your pantry right now, those little packets that have the chicken broth in it, those have MSG in it. So I could leave it or take it. Obviously, it's lactose and dairy free. They're made of nuts. It's a tree nut. This is another word. Sorry for the slack jaw. This is another word I may pronounce wrong. And again, I deeply apologize. I want to say it is casein, Casein. This is a dairy protein that has actually been linked to dairy allergies and sensitivity. And of course, almond milk is also gluten free because gluten free. Some of the major benefits of almond milk is sometimes the nutrient content, depending on your brand, is higher. They add extra things such as vitamin E and other natural proteins that come from the almond itself. It's low in calories. Double check your almond milk. Like I said, not all almond milks are the same. Mine is a little low, but also a little high if you compare it to others. As we talked about before, enriched almond milk will help with your bones, your teeth, everything that mainstream milk will also help you with. Just make sure it says enriched. That's how you know it has like the limestone. Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze. It may reduce the risk of heart disease because, like I mentioned before, it is free of cholesterol, and that's always a good thing. It also helps lower the risk because of the natural oils found in the almonds as well. There's about 1% of natural oil, natural almond oil that can be found in the almond milk. Mine, because it's extra creamy, does have a little bit more almond oil in it to help make it the proper thickness of milk. It's the best way I can explain it. And because it does have vitamins E and antioxidants, my God, I cannot speak today. You will start to develop healthier skin. You might see some healthier hair. You might have healthier nails. But that's enough about the controversy of almond milk for now. Let's talk about whole milk. I'm specifically going to be talking about the Stop and Shop brand because that is the milk carton we have in my house. The Stop and Shop brand has total fat of 8 grams, saturated 5, and trans 0. It has 35 milligrams of cholesterol. It has 120 milligrams of sodium, 12 grams of carbs, 0 grams of fiber, and 11 grams of sugar with 0 added sugar. And then the protein is 8. We all know that milk has many benefits growing up. I mentioned a few earlier, the main ones again being healthy teeth, healthy bones, good eyesight. And if you're a millennial like me, you grew up with those got milk commercials like shoved in your face and being told that make sure you drink your milk with breakfast so you can grow up big and strong. Make sure you have this with your milk. Do that. Make sure that you finish your milk. So, growing up as a dairy drinker, it was very interesting and hard for me to switch to almond milk. But I did it. But did you know not only does milk help with, again, your bones, your teeth, your eyesight, everything like that? Did you know that just like chicken and turkey, normal dairy milk, I say normal dairy milk, that means cow's milk. I will switch the two a lot, like I mentioned earlier. But normal mainstream cow's milk can help with sleep. Like chicken and turkey, as I was saying, milk contains, I always mispronounce this word, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Tryptophan. Tryptophan. The stuff that makes you sleepy during Thanksgiving after you ate that second, third, fourth helping of turkey. It also contains antioxidants. I don't know why I cannot say that word today. And anti-inflammatory, just as almond milk. So you see, a lot of them have the same benefits. A lot of the disadvantages, that's where you're going to start seeing a lot of the separations. As I said in the beginning of this video, and I want to keep repeating it, whether you are a dairy drinker, an almond milk drinker, or any other alternative milk drinker, as long as you have the right research and it's working for you, keep doing it, loves. You do you. I'm not telling you that you need to switch to almond milk. I'm not telling you that you are a cow or a cow because you are sucking from the teat, as other people might be trying to say about you. I don't believe that. I was once like you. I kind of miss drinking dairy milk, I'm not gonna lie. Ba-ba-ba. Now, always with the good, there is bad. Let's go back to the almond milk. Almond milk is high in sodium. Most store brands add extra salt into the batches to help preserve the shelf life. Overall, even though I did mention, and this might be a little contradictory, overall, yes, there is protein in almond milk and it can be good for you with the added vitamins. Overall, it is just not enough protein compared to actual dairy milk or mainstream milk or whatever you want to consider it. So, if you do drink almond milk or if you drink protein shakes using almond milk, I would definitely suggest adding a little bit of extra protein powder, whey, whatever needs to meet your dietary things. I'm not trying to tell you what to eat. I'm not trying to tell you what to drink. We're all different. And of course, if you have a nut allergy, almonds are tree nuts, so please be mindful of that. I know it might seem kind of like on the nose, but I do know at least one person that has a tree nut allergy that has tried to drink almond milk, and I was just staring at them like, I'm sorry, what's wrong with you? And then, like I was mentioning earlier, almond milk can sometimes have very, very questionable thickeners. Have you ever heard of something called cardigene? One moment. And I'm back. I'm so sorry about that. That was a struggle for me. Have you ever heard of carginians? Not carcinogens. Carginians. I didn't know what they were until I actually started doing research for this episode. Um, Almond Breeze uses them. It is a natural flavorless sulfated polysaccharide. Again, I am greatly sorry because I do not speak science. That is extracted from red edible seaweed and has been used as food additives, food thickeners since the 1950s. However, during my research, I did learn that this does link to IBS, amongst a few other health issues. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you have any questions or are more curious about these type of thickeners and different agents that food processors and food vendors use, let me know in the comments below. I will gladly make an episode all about this and all about these different things that mainstream food markets want you to eat. Now, as I was kind of hinting earlier, the major issue with whole milk, dairy milk, mainstream milk is that it's very, very high in saturated fats. Now, the issue with saturated fats is they can snowball. And what I mean by snowball is they can create heart issues. Saturated fat can also lead to a high LDL or bad cholesterol, which will start to cake your arteries. And we all know what happens when your arteries start to get caked up and if you don't take care of it. Make sure you get a hold of your doctor. Make sure you're doing everything that you need to do and that you are drinking the proper things you're supposed to be drinking and eating the proper things you are supposed to be eating. I mainly did this episode today because of my grandfather. My grandfather is diabetic. I love him dearly. But with him getting sick like this and with him having a very, very high risk of heart issues, we had to start changing up the way we ate. And I started doing research a long time ago when he first became diabetic about all of this. I learned how scary whole milk can be, but I learned all of the major benefits of whole milk that sometimes almond milk cannot compare itself to. So please, if you're thinking on switching from either milk, double check with your doctor that you don't have any underlying heart issues, double check with your family. I just want everybody to be happy and healthy and eating. So, now that that scariness is done and that serious moment is done, let's talk about how I mentioned earlier um, a recipe that I'm going to leave down below. And if I did not mention it earlier, I thought I did, and I apologize. I had that conversation in my head. A few days ago, I was talking to my best friend, my best childhood friend, my right armed woman, my beautiful best friend, Jennifer. She makes homemade almond milk because just all of the added preservatives and extra BS that go into like Almond Breeze and other almond milk brands. I will leave that below, but I do have a few tips from her. Number one, the longest you should soak your almonds for is 48 hours, but she personally does not recommend soaking them, like pushing it at all, like that far. She does soak them for a little while, but she does not do the full 48 hours. And she did bring up that the longer you soak the almonds, the creamier the milk will get. And definitely, I cannot stress this enough, so I'm assuming she had a problem with it. Definitely use a nut bag. A nut bag is similar, think cheesecloth, but with finer holes. If you cannot find a nut bag, use cheesecloth, but make sure you layer that beach up. And I guess that's really it for this episode. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you really liked this video, please leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a comment below on what you're interested in so the next video I make you can like. Um as always, I'm Vic, your kitchen pixie, here to help guide and have fun through the wonderful world of food. Thank you for joining our table talk. And what is the last thing? Oh, yes. Please subscribe!